Good evening, students.
Good evening, sir.
Guys, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. So, what was the last topic we were seeing? Guys? We were seeing something skew symmetric and symmetric. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Is there any other doubt, guys? Yesterday, I remember Rohan asking something. Is there anyone else also having a doubt from that concept? Rohan, are you clear with yesterday's discussion? No?
Yes, sir, I understood.
Understood, right? Did you try any other problems?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You tried it, right? That's okay. That's good. Okay. Anyways, so yeah. So since this concept is clear, will you guys get a chance to go through the video that I've already uploaded with respect to elementary transformations? Yes or no, guys? Am I audible, please? Can someone respond?
You're audible, sir.
Audible, right? Yeah, just ask if you guys got a chance to go through the video that I've already uploaded.
Not yet, sir.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, we'll just have an outline look of what is inverse and why do we use elementary transformation. Right. So, how do you define the inverse of a matrix? How do you define the inverse of a matrix? Can someone tell me the definition of it? So, where is the idea of invertible matrix coming to picture? Anybody? Let's have a discussion. I'm sure most of you know this concept.
So inverse of the matrix is when you have the same order of the matrix.
It's like a multiplicative
But
inverse.
when you multiply it with the other matrix, you multiply
Okay.
it.
That's right. That's right. Like how you both told. Yes, Nicholas, that's right. So when you have a number, I think I've already told this to you guys, right? So when you have a number, a real number in your hand, let's say x, which is a non-zero number, okay, which is a non-zero real number, then what is the multiplicative inverse of it? How do you find it? If you multiply it with such a number, such that you get the output as 1, then that kind of an inverse is called as a multiplicative inverse with respect to real numbers. Whereas when you're handling with respect to matrices, what should happen? If any matrix A is given to you and you multiply that matrix with another matrix B such that you get an identity matrix I. So here X is replaced with matrix A, 1 by X is replaced with matrix B, and 1 is replaced with the identity matrix. Then I can say A is the inverse, B is the inverse of A. Correct, Ada? B is the inverse of A. So for example, see, if I have A as a square matrix of order M, and there is another square matrix B of the same order M, then AB, the product of AB is feasible because it's of the same order M, and product BA is also feasible, right? And the products are in such a way that both these products give the same identity matrix of the same order, then B is said to be the inverse of A and it is denoted by A inverse. In that kind of a scenario, what you can say is, you can say A is an invertible matrix. That is the heading, okay? So try to understand, invertible matrix is different from the inverse of a matrix. What do you mean by invertible matrix? Whether the matrix can be, whether the matrix will have an inverse existing or not. Which inverse? A multiplicative inverse existing or not. Okay. So for that, what we need to do is, if I have, they randomly took two examples, right? A is equal to 2, 3, 1, 2, B is equal to 2, minus 3, minus 1, 2 are the two matrices. Then if you find A into B, then what will you get? You will get I. If you do B into A, you will get the same I. Then what you can say is B is the inverse of A, and B is represented as A inverse, and A is the inverse of B, where A is equal to B inverse. So what is happening is, if A into B gives you I, then you can say B is the inverse of A. If B into A gives you I, then you can say A is the inverse of B. So how you write inverse? B with a power of -1. It's not, so most of them have a confusion. They think that it is 1 by B. No, it is not the reciprocal. Right? Because you cannot divide a real number and a matrix. No. B inverse. Right? Secondly, what are all the important notes, guys? You have a rectangular matrix, it does not possess inverse at all. Because when you have a rectangular matrix, there might be a case where AB is possible, but BA might not be possible. Or BA might be possible, AB might not be possible, right? Since for products BA and AB to be defined and to be equal, it is necessary that the matrices A and B should be of square matrices of the same order. Secondly, if B is the inverse of A, then we can say A is the inverse of B. I hope this point is clear, guys. Right? This is all about an invertible matrix. Right? Next, what does theorem 3 state? It says uniqueness of an inverse. What do you mean by uniqueness of inverse? Can someone explain me? From whatever you have understood. What do you understand by the statement uniqueness of an inverse?
Only one inverse can be there for a matrix.
So that's right. If you have a square matrix for which, if you have a square matrix which is invertible, okay, which is invertible in the sense, in a more mature way, we can talk in terms of adjoint and determinant also, right? You guys know the fact, but anyways, those points that we'll discuss that when we see determinants. So inverse of a square matrix, if at all it exists, means if a matrix is invertible, then it will have a unique inverse. What are the proof for it is? Right, if A is a square matrix of order M, and B and C, let us assume we are trying to prove it using the contradiction method. Okay, so let's say B and C are the two inverses which are existing for the given matrix A. Then, according to the definition of matrices, can I say AB into BA is I because B is the inverse of A? But what did we assume? We assume C is also inverse of A. Then AC into CA should also be equal to I. Correct, Ada? Right. So let me call this as 1. Let me call this as 2. But we know that any matrix B can be written, any square matrix B can be written as the matrix itself multiplied with the identity matrix. I hope you guys know this. Right? When you multiply a given matrix with an identity matrix, it is equal to the matrix itself. Right? So this B into, what is the one that is missing? In the place of I can use 4 possibilities: BA, AB, AC, CA. What we will do is, we will use AC. Right? B into AC. Now tell me, what are all the properties? Is it properties of multiplication of matrices? Wait, I'll show this. Yes. So the associative law says AB into C is the same as A into BC, right? So can I use the same logic there? One minute. Yeah. So B into A into C because matrix multiplication is associative. So what is B into A, guys? B into A is also I. So the identity matrix multiplied with C is going to give you C. Correct? So we can conclude that B and C are the same. Hence, there is only one inverse possible. Right? So this is the theorem number 3. Is there anyone noting it down? Now, we will look at the fourth theorem. What does the fourth theorem state, guys? If A and B are invertible matrices of the same order, then AB inverse is equal to B inverse into A inverse. There is some other operation also which has similar kind of a theorem or a property. What is it? Yesterday we saw AB transpose is equal to B transpose into A transpose. Do you guys remember this? The same is the case applicable for a an inverse also. Okay. So observe. From the definition of inverse of a matrix, so what is that we need to find? We need to find the value of AB inverse, right? So let us consider A into B as a matrix. So A into B is definitely going to be a square matrix because A is a square matrix, B is a square matrix. Then AB into AB, the whole inverse is I, according to the definition, where we are assuming A into B as an invertible matrix. Okay. What is that we need to prove? That AB, the whole inverse, is equal to B inverse into A inverse. So I need to get rid of this AB. How can I get rid of this? So first what we will do is pre-multiply with A inverse on both the sides. When you do that, what are you going to get? A inverse of A, I'm directly applying the associative property. B into AB, the whole inverse is equal to I. What is A inverse into A, guys? Where A is also an invertible matrix. So they told no, A and B are invertible matrices. That is I. Or did I forgot A inverse on the right hand side. So I into B into AB, the whole inverse is equal to A inverse into I. What is I into B, guys? Obviously, it's a B, right? B into AB, the whole inverse is equal to A inverse into I. Right. Next, what are we supposed to do? So A inverse into I is nothing but A inverse. Right. Next, what are we supposed to do? Pre-multiply with, I need to get rid of this B. Pre-multiply with B inverse on both the sides. So what will you get? B inverse into B into AB, the whole inverse is equal to B inverse into A inverse. So this thing will become I. So I into AB inverse is nothing but AB, the whole inverse is equal to B inverse into A inverse. Okay, Vada?
Yes, sir.
Right. So there's no. Is there anyone who's copying this?
Yes, sir. One second.
Yeah, please write it. Well, writing, if there is any doubt, do let me know.
Once.
Done? Okay. Now, there are certain elementary transformations that we can do, right, to find the inverse of a matrix. So what are all the elementary operations we are allowed to do?
Sir, isn't it they removed, sir?
Which one?
Elementary operations. Is it
That
removed
was
from the
last year. This year they removed.
Yes,
One
sir.
minute,
This
let
year
me
also I saw in that portion
No,
syllabus.
they removed. Then it is good. We'll learn to them. Sure, Adav, let me check it once. I didn't see that part. 1 minute. Term 1. Just give me 2 minute time. Grade 12 math topics. But anyways, the recorded video, if you want, you can go through it. Last year it was not there.
Sir, this year it is only the invertible matrices. The portion PDF it is there, sir.
1 minute, let me check. No, I don't have that mobile. Mathematics. So where did you download it from?
Sir, my school sent it, sir. If you want, I can send it. No, sir. Can I send now, sir?
Yeah, I got it actually. I'm telling you, that mobile is not there in my hand. The student support number mobile. I have only my personal mobile in hand. Inverse or relations and functions, 8 marks, algebra, 10 marks, algebra. Oh, only 10 invertible matrices they have given. The invertible, see, sometimes what will happen is, 1 minute. So determinants the inverse are determinant of a square matrix minus cofactors and application of determinants in finding the area of a triangle. Adjoint. So they have removed the properties of determinants also. So it's exactly the same as last year. So they have told determinant of a square matrix minus cofactor and application of determinant in finding the area of a triangle. Then we need to know what is an adjoint and inverse of a square matrix, solving system of linear equations in 2 or 3 variables using inverse of a matrix.
Second exercise is removed in determinants, sir.
Properties of determinants is not there.
Yes, sir.
Well, these two are the headaches to teach. Anyways, not a big deal. So, anyways, if it is there also, I have recorded the videos for elementary operation. It is there, and I've explained it more clearly. Also, you can go through it. If you guys want to practice it for the safer side, you can do it. Yes, like how Mithun told, it is not there for the syllabus. It is not there. They have removed it. Then we can move to determinants. Is there any other doubt, guys?
No, sir.
No doubt, sir.
No, right? Just give me a second. I'll open determinants folder. Then our job is easy to get over fast. Okay. Guys, they did one useless thing again. See, last year also same mistake happened. 1 minute. I will open the syllabus and show you. I'll tell you what are all the things you're not supposed to omit. Okay, don't get carried away by the syllabus. Notes right. It is actually the same portions as last year almost. So this is the term one. I hope you guys are able to see it. So
Yes,
term
sir.
1, relations and functions, they have got 8 marks. Algebra is matrices and determinants for 10 marks. Calculus, it is derivatives, that is limits and derivatives, and they have AOD, applications of derivatives. Then we have this linear programming. It is maximum 2 classes. That's it. It's an extension of linear inequalities that you have learned last year. So I can guess what they would have removed from there also. So relations and functions, see, you have the types of relation: reflexive, symmetric, transitive, and equivalence. And you have one-to-one and onto functions. So they have removed composite functions
And inverse function.
and inverse. Can you tell me what is the drawback of doing it?
We won't be able to understand inverse and inverse trigonometric and
There is-
calculus.
Obviously, full gone. Okay, but anyways, fortunately, we have completed it. So we need not worry about it. So you guys have written tests also. See, keeping all other things aside, I suggest you guys to study this also so that you do well in the derivatives. So, yeah, because we have chain rule, which is applicable for a composite function. If I don't explain what is composite function, you'll obviously not understand chain rule, correct? So, other way, if you don't know what is the inverse and how is the inverse of a function going to exist, then there is no point in studying inverse trigonometric functions. And inverse trigonometry, there is nothing. Definition, range, domain, principal value branch. There is nothing actually. The properties and all, what I don't know what they did to it. Okay,
Sir, second exercise is removed, sir, in inverse.
that's what it seems like. That is no properties. I think last year they didn't remove properties. This year they have. I think because of this thing, the marks 40 marks. Only, they not, MCQs and this 40 marks. But I would not suggest that. See, we are well in advance. Okay. To be very honest, if this determinants is over linear programming, all put together maximum 5 classes, we are actually done with term 1 with extra portions also. And I'm sure you guys will do it better. Correct? You have written tests also. So let's go in our pattern itself. But yes, MCQ test and all, I'll conduct it as per the board pattern. Sharia. But the other test which I'm saying is subjective. Please follow my instructions. I'm telling you for your benefit. And tomorrow you will struggle if you go into higher studies. So another follow. Okay. So matrices, what they have done, it is only invertible matrices. So here all matrices will have real entries. Yes, functions you don't have in it. So all other things. So symmetric, skew symmetric, and all are there. That is also not there. It's there. It's there. Symmetric, skew symmetric, operation, addition, multiplication. Simple properties of addition, multiplication, scalar multiplication, non-commutativity of multiplication of matrices. Okay. Then literally, officially, we have completed this also. Only thing is practice needs to be done. If any one of you want a class where I do problems, I'll definitely do it. So I didn't do it because most of you have learned it, Sharia. But if you guys need, please do let me know. Next. Determinants. Determinant of a square matrix is there. The properties is which exercise? 0.2 4.2. So first is the basic determinant. Yes, properties is removed. It is not there. Yes. You need to know what is a minor cofactor. See, if you understand cofactor only, you will understand what is an adjoint. Application of determinants in finding the area of a triangle. Okay. Adjoint and inverse of a square matrix. Solving system of linear equations in 2 or 3 variables having unique solution using inverse of a matrix. Okay. Sorry. Continuity and differentiability. We have learned this first exercise. Here they are speaking about derivative of composite functions, and here they have removed it. I don't know what logic it is. Okay, derivative of composite functions, chain rule, derivative of inverse trigonometric functions. Obviously, you need to know the properties, right? Adhe mari derivative of implicit, concept of exponential logarithmic. Okay, logarithmic differentiation. That is exercise 5.5. Derivative of functions expressed in parametric forms, and second order derivative. So they have removed mean value theorem and Rolle's theorem. That is not there. That was not there last year also. It's almost the same. So these two are removed. Similarly, applications of derivatives, what they have done. First part, First exercise is not there. Okay, rate at which the area is increasing, volume is increasing is not given. So they started with second, increasing or decreasing functions, tangents and normals, maxima and minima. Yeah, maxima, minima, you will definitely get. Okay, you will definitely get a question from this. A very second derivative test given as a provable tool. Simple problems that illustrate basic principle and understanding of the subject as well as real life situations. Okay. So second order derivative test only is there. That first order, the first derivative test is not there.
So how many exercises is removed in applications of derivatives, sir?
Applications at 6.1 is not there. The 6.2 is there. Is 6.3 and 6.4 is approximations. Approximations kuda illa. So 6.5 is there. Approximations last year also they removed it. So 6.2, 6.3, 6.5 da.
I have a doubt, sir.
Please tell me.
But the upcoming test for application derivatives will have 6.1, right? And 6.4.
It's better you prepare. I told you, no.
Yes,
Better
sir.
be on paper. Better you study. You guys know the concept. You have solved everything. It is just 1 hour of extra effort. Think it like that.
Okay.
Okay. But I told you, right, when those board exam pattern kind of tests are being conducted, that time I'll ensure that those are not asked.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Linear programming. Linear programming, you have everything. But I don't know how they have lost linear programming because it is full of graphs. This I have to think and see. Okay. That's it. So in this, there is no omission, except mean value theorem and Rolle's theorem, there is no omission. Here, the omission is properties of determinants. Please make a note. Properties of determinants is omitted. And in this case, it is the elementary transformation which is omitted. And this thing I've told. So 2.2 is omitted. Here 1.3 and 1.4 are omitted. These are the technical things. Shariyada. So then we are good to start with determinants. Shall we get started? Right?
Yes, sir.
Right. So what is the difference between a determinant and a matrix? Can someone tell me?
So determinant is some number and matrix is numbers arranged.
Okay, you can say yes. So that is the simplest way of defining. So matrices basically means arrangement of numbers or functions in a specific set of order, whereas determinant basically gives the output as a number. See, generally that number represents the area of something. Okay? That number generally represents the area of something, which will actually make you understand in the chapter called vector algebra. That is why if you see the syllabus also, there is one thing, right? What did they say? In finding the area of a triangle. Correct? So how determinants will actually help you to find the area of a triangle. So where did the idea actually come from? Let's look at it, okay? So in the previous chapter, we studied about matrices. Okay, and algebra of matrices. We have also learned that system of algebraic equations can be expressed in the form of matrices, right? So this means a system of linear equation like this. You have a system of linear equations in two variables, a1x plus b1y plus is equal to c1 and a2x plus b2y is equal to c2. They can be represented like this. So the first matrix is the representation of what? Of the coefficients of x and y. Okay. The second matrix is only a column matrix, which is xy. And the third is also a column matrix, which is C1, C2, right? In such a way that if you multiply these two and equate it to the elements in the third matrix, you will get the linear equations back. Right? Generally, see, the technical name given to these kind of matrices are augmented matrices, but it is not there in your syllabus. It's for your knowledge. where you write only the coefficients of those linear equations is generally called as an augmented matrix. Okay. So with respect to the augmented matrix, this is there, no, A1, B1, A2, B2 is there, right? So if you put a bracket with a square like this, if you put a square bracket, that is called as a matrix. And if you remove the square bracket and put two lines like this, A1, B1 and A2, B2, then this becomes determinant of that matrix, which actually means the cross multiplication of the elements, or I can say the cross multiplication of the elements and finding the difference. That is, A1 start from the left top and go to the bottom right. So A1 multiplied with B2 minus A2 into B. Okay, A1 B2 minus A2 B1 is what is the actual meaning of determinant of a 2 by 2 matrix. Guys, are you able to understand this? So A1 B2 minus A2 B1, which determines the uniqueness of the solution, is associated with matrix A, is called as the determinant of A or det A, or we write it as something like this, modulus of A. But you read it as determinant of A. Right? So let's look at the basic definition of what a determinant means. So first point to be noted is determinant is defined for what kind of a matrix? What condition is the matrix supposed to satisfy? So to every square matrix A of order n, we can associate a number. It can be a real number or a complex number called as the determinant of the square matrix A, where Aij is equal to I comma j element of capital A, that is the matrix A. So then how do you define the determinant of A? It is something like this, AD minus BC. Correct, Ada? Now I need to explain certain things. Listen to this carefully. So for a matrix A, if you put modulus like this, it is read as determinant of A and not as modulus of A. And secondly, only square matrices have determinants. Okay, this is an observation. There is no proof for it. So to find the solution to solve a system of linear equations, what they did is they have designed certain numbers, and those numbers are called as determinants. See, actually, I'm not sure if you guys have learned this. Suppose these are the two linear equations given to you guys. Okay. Then, if I ask you to solve them, you can follow many methods: substitution, elimination, cross multiplication, all those things. Did you guys ever do something like this? 3, 2, 5, 6, 2, 3, 3, 2. And write x here, y here, and 1 here. Have you ever seen this kind of a method of solving?
Yes, sir. We did this.
Cross multiplication only, yes. So 15 minus 12, you do this, right, is equal to 1 divided by 4 minus 9, something like this you do, right? Then this thing, what you're doing here, whatever you wrote in the cross multiplication method in the denominator is actually determinant only. At that point, they would have not told you, because that word is not introduced. Okay, so whatever you write in the denominator of this x is what is called as determinant. But this determinant is applicable for a 2 cross 2 matrix. Okay. Now, so determinant, we know, we are clear that it is applicable only for a square matrix. So what is the determinant of a square matrix of order 1? It is a number itself. So a matrix of order 1 is going to have only one element. Then the determinant of A is equal to the number itself. So what is the determinant of a matrix of order 2? If there is a matrix A which has the elements as A11, A12, A21 and A22, be a matrix of order 2 cross 2, then the determinant of A, see, determinant can also be written as delta. So these are all det A, mod the determinant of A, or just as delta is nothing but the cross multiplication. But how should you do the cross multiplication? You should start with the element which is on the left topmost corner. Okay, which is on the top left corner, and you should multiply that with the element which is at the bottom right corner. And you should, the next set should be the right top corner multiplied with the left bottom corner, and you should subtract them. That's the basic cross multiplication, right? So let's try to find the value for this. What will be the answer, guys? X square minus of x plus 1 into x minus 1. So x square minus x square plus 1. Cancel it. Answer will be 1. So the determinant of this is 1. Okay. So what is the determinant of matrix of order 3? So there's one thing I wanted to ask you. I want to check how much you people know this. So if I give you a matrix like this 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, 3. Okay. And I'm asking you, what is the determinant of A? So what is the determinant of A? Who can tell me?
So 1 into 6 minus 1.
1 into
6 minus 1.
1 into 6 minus 1. Okay. You will take this one. Then what will you do? You will hide the corresponding row and the corresponding column. Then you will take the determinant of this. Right? What is it going to be? 1 into 6 minus 1.
Minus 2 into 9 minus 2.
Minus 2 into
9 minus 2.
So how did you get that?
Remove the respective column and row, and then you cross multiply.
Okay. Minus 2 into 9 minus plus 3 into
3 minus 4.
3 minus 4.
4. Correct. So 5 minus 2 into 7 plus 3 into minus 1. So 5 minus 14 minus 3 is how much? 5 minus 17, which is minus 12. Correct. So this is okay. If I ask you the same question and I put a condition, what do you think is the condition I'm going to put? Let me see if you guys are able to guess. So you guys expanded by taking these elements as the base, right? What if I say find the determinant of the same matrix by taking these numbers as a base? So what you did is, what do I mean by base is, you multiplied the first element of the first row with the determinant of the numbers which you get by hiding the corresponding row and the corresponding column, and you put the next number 2 with a minus sign. Okay, then you found the determinant by hiding the corresponding row and corresponding column, right? If I ask you to take these 1, 3, 1 as reference, so how will you do it?
It will be 1 into 6 minus 2.
Okay.
Six minus 2.
Huh? Can you repeat?
1 into 6 minus 2, right?
6 minus 2. Okay, 6 minus 2. Next. I don't want you to use 2 here. Huh?
Minus 3.
Correct.
6 minus 6.
Yes.
Plus 1 and 2. 2 minus 6.
Correct. Did you guys understand what you did? Can you guys understand what we did? So, whichever element you take, okay, whichever element you take as the reference, then you need to hide the corresponding row and column of that element. Okay. So if I do this, then what is it you're left out with? 1 into, you're left out with the determinant of 2, 1, 2, and 3. Okay. But my question is, okay, the next number that you're supposed to use is 3. Nikhilesh, how did you find that it is supposed to be minus 1?
Sir, we have to multiply in front of all the operations, sir. -1 into I plus j, sir. We have to multiply that row into column, sir.
Correct.
Suppose here -1, 1 plus 1, like that, sir.
So minus 3 into, then what are we supposed to do? What you told is right. You'll hide these two, then what is it you're left out with?
0,
Determinant
sir.
of 2, 3, 2, 3
2, 3.
plus 1 into determinant of 2, 3, 2, 1. Correct? Huh? That's right. So you guys know this. I'll come to a different definition of determinants. As of now, I showed you only these values. Right. So remarks is, for easier calculation, we shall expand the determinant along that row or column which contains maximum number of zeros. So that is generally when you have properties, you do it like that. Okay. So when expanding, instead of multiplying -1 power I plus j, we can multiply by +1 or -1 according to I plus j is even or odd. That is what we did here. Okay. If suppose there is a question, can you guys do it fast and tell me? Find the determinant of this. You can find it in one step by finding the determinant with respect to the third column. So 4 into -1 -3. That's it. Sorry, -1 -12. So it will be -13. So it is going to be -15. Do this stuff. Make it fast. Can you look at this and tell me what is the answer?
Answer is 0, sir.
Yes. The answer will be 0 because if you expand it along the row 1 also, 0 into 0 minus sine alpha into 0 minus sine beta cos alpha minus cos alpha into sine alpha sine beta. Okay. So this will be 0 minus, sorry, plus sine alpha cos alpha sine beta minus sine alpha cos alpha sine beta, that will give us a 0. Okay. So all these are simple. This exercise you guys can do it. Right. So these kind of problems we need to be careful. So there is a property of determinant like this, right? If there is a square matrix A, then if its determinant, so here I have the matrix, here I have the determinant. So if the determinant is this thing, then if I have a matrix Ka, what is going to be the determinant of Ka? So what is going to be the determinant of Ka, guys? Do you guys know this property or not?
The
So this will
extreme
be,
properties.
see, if the matrix is of order n, okay, then if there is a scalar that is multiplied with k in the case of the matrix, so in the case of a matrix, what will happen if you multiply with k? Then you need to multiply k with every element, right? Then here what will happen is the determinant of this matrix k into A will be k power n into determinant of A. It will be k power n into determinant of A, where n is what?
Order of the matrix.
Order of the matrix. Okay, if you do take any example and see, you will get the same answer. So this can be an MCQ question because it's a property, right? So why I got this idea is, look at the third one. So A is equal to 1, 2, 4, 2. Then show that determinant of 2 times A, 2 times the matrix A is equal to 4 times the determinant of A. Correct? Huh? So what we have to do is, if I take LHS, let's try to understand this question. So what is 2A, guys? 2, 4, 8, 4. Correct? Huh? What is determinant of 2A? 8 minus 32. Answer is minus 24. So let this be equation number 1. For RHS, what is determinant of A? 2 minus 8 is minus 6. Right? So 4 times determinant of A will be minus 24. Let this be 2. So determinant of 2 times of A is equal to 4 times determinant of A. Same is the case here. See, determinant of 3A is equal to 27 times determinant of A. Hence, the determinant of k times A will be equal to k power n times determinant of A, where n is what? N is the, complete the statement, guys, where n is the
Order of the matrix.
Order of the matrix.
order of the given square matrix. Okay. So I hope it is clear, right? You guys can do this. So evaluate the determinants. This part also I'm leaving it to you. You guys can, okay. 8th one around will do. So x2 18x. X square minus 36 is equal to 36 minus 36. So this will get cancelled. X square will be equal to 36. X will be equal to plus or minus 6 because it can be a real number. But is it plus or minus 6, guys?
No, sir. Determinant value cannot be.
Determinant value cannot be. Determinant value cannot be
Negative.
Determinant value can be negative. Who told it cannot be negative? It can come out negative. It will be just know what
Yes,
is
sir.
left.
Sorry, sir. I made a mistake.
Determinant is not, when you find the area, that time you apply determinant, that time it can't be negative. It can be negative. X is equal to plus or minus 6. But had the question been like this, then X should have been 6. Guys, are you able to understand what is the difference? So when they speak about the determinant, the value of X can either be plus 6 or minus 6. Because its value is going to be the same. When you find the determinant, the output will come out as 0 only. Okay. So properties of determinants not there. The biggest exercise. Yeah, this time it makes sense because properties of determinants is worth only when you do this thing, subjective test. So this is the one I was telling that let's A be a square matrix of order 3, then modulus of determinant of Ka is equal to K cube times A. So which of the following is correct? Determinant is this is square matrix. Correct. Determinant is a number associated to a matrix. What are they trying to say? Determinant is a number associated to a square matrix. Okay, this determinant is a number which is associated to a square matrix. Because when they say it is associated to a matrix, there is a possibility of use contradicting saying that rectangular matrix is also possible. Okay, next. So the idea of determinant for area of triangle. Let this be the last concept for today. Do you guys remember in your 10th standard, if there are three coordinates given, x1, y1, x2, y2, and x3, y3 that are given, and you're asked to find the area of the triangle, then how will you do it?
Half into x1 into y2 minus y3 plus
Yes,
x2 into y3 minus y1 plus x3 into y1 minus y2.
y1 minus y2. So if you observe what this is exactly, you can say that it is nothing but the, so this part is there, no? This part is exactly the determinant of x1, y11, x2, y21, and x3, y31. Okay. So this multiplied with half will give you the area of the required triangle, which is formed by the points x1, y1, x2, y2, and x3, y3. So certain remarks to be noted are, since area is a positive quantity, we always take the absolute value. What do you mean by absolute value? You take the modulus of it. Okay, secondly, if the area is given, use both positive and negative values of the determinant for calculation. This is another thing. Okay, sometimes what they will do, they'll give you the area and they'll ask you to calculate the coordinates with coordinates to be joined so that you get this particular area. That time what you're supposed to do is you take both positive and negative value, because whenever you have modulus of x is equal to 3, x should be written as plus or minus 3. Most of them write x is equal to 3 only. Okay. Third, the area of a triangle formed by 3 collinear points is 0. Okay, this is also known to us. Right. See, let's take this example. Let's do one last problem and wind up. Find the equation of the line joining A 1, 3 and B 0, 0 using determinants, and find K if D K, 0 is a point such that the triangle of the area of triangle ABD is 3 square units. So how to find the equation of the line? What is the equation of line joining 2 points? Y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. But they want us to find using the determinants. So why are they saying determinant? Because since these 2 points are collinear, right? Since they lie on a straight line, 1, 3 and 0, 0 like this, then you can take any point as x, y. Then what will be the area of triangle formed by these 3 points? It is going to be 0. Correct? So half into determinant of 0, 0, 1, 1, 3, 1, x, y1 is equal to 0. So these two will give you a 0. So 1 into y minus 3x is equal to 0. So y will be equal to 3x. Okay, that is the equation of the line. And since it is passing through origin, it's obviously it will not have a constant. Next is find the point D, 0 such that the area of the triangle ABD is 3 square units. So how to find the area of the triangle? Half into modulus of, determinant of 0, 0, 1, 1, 3, 1 and K 0, 1 is equal to 3. So 1 into, you will get 3K or a minus 3K is equal to 6. But you need to put a modulus here. So 3K will be equal to plus or minus 6. So what will be the answer? K will be equal to plus or minus 2. Okay. So I hope you understood this.
Sir, so we can say that the area of the triangle is half the value of the determinant.
Yeah, half the value of determinant formed by all these points. Yes.
Okay, sir.
So next class we will see what are minors and cofactors. And then we can see because I think we can complete it tomorrow itself. Okay. So is there any other doubt, guys?
No doubt.
Okay. Fine.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.